Born and raised Kent County. Been pretty much an entrepreneur my whole life. Whether starting my first business was a lawn care company, then we graduated into a landscape company, hardscape company, then I graduated into construction, and then back in 2007 bought a national drapery hardware company, wholesale company, moved forward with that, and I guess 2 years ago, opened 2 stores in Chestertown over the last 2 years. One's Eastern Interiors up on High Street there, and then we bought two businesses. My wife and I bought 2 businesses not long ago. One was Mr. Pritzloff's business, who had been around forever, I think it's 44 years or something like that, and we bought AAA plaques and trophies as well out of Centerville. So we got 70 some years between the 2 companies we bought, mixed them together, and now it's called Eastern Engraving. So we have Eastern Interiors and Eastern Engraving right here in Chestertown. Wouldn't trade it for the world. Of course, we need to grow, like any other business downtown, and it's happening slowly, but we'll get there. There. 3 beautiful boys, 28, 22, 21. I got a wonderful son coming on January 6th, Jameson Kevin. So moving on. Well, the moment for me was my son and I were sitting on our front porch back in 2009, and me being a griper like most people in the country, you sit there and talk and gripe about politics and so forth, and he pretty much told me to put up or shut up. So I entered the race in 2009. As you know, I lost my first election, but then I got appointed when the great Alex Rasin had to step down due to health reasons. Martin O'Malley appointed me to the position. I've been there ever since. Had a great election the last time, and hopefully have the same great effect this time. It's been an honor and a pleasure to serve the citizens, and I think we've done a great job moving the county forward. It's a tough job in Kent County because I call it 15 minutes too far from anywhere. And when you add commute time, Philadelphians don't want to commute because of that extra time going through Middletown. I think that is definitely going to change with the bypass being completed. We're 15 minutes too far from the Bay Bridge for the commuters to want to go that direction because they never know what they're going to get hung up in. But I think we're in a good spot right now and moving the county forward monetarily, business-wise, the whole gamut, because you look at the project with Dixon Valve. I mean, KRM Development. That's an 80 million plus project, 400 to 700 jobs over the next 4.5, 5 years. They're looking. They put in a proposal with. I mean, just that one project alone is going to enhance Kent County. But we've had so many other things that have happened positive, whether it's the Lamont build out, the Gillespie build out, the changes we made on 301 corridor. We got a project that's being in the preliminary stages of 600 homes. We've got a truck stop that's looking to come back there. I mean, we have a lot of good things happening, and it's just a matter of getting there and moving the county forward. And monetarily, that's all we need. We don't have to change the entire county and make it, the new metro of Baltimore by putting a bridge across in order to achieve that. The revenue hadn't changed, but everything we put in place, whether it's the commerce zone, the enterprise zone, the arts and entertainment district, all those things that we put in place these last few years are moving the pendulum. Again, KRM Development, that was 350 jobs we had the potential of losing and going to Smyrna. Not my words, these were Dick Goodall's words. We went to Annapolis, raised revenue, brought revenue to help with the infrastructure, keep moving these projects along to keep these. Where would we be without Dixon KRM Development? Where would you be? So I disagree with that aspect. Yes, revenue has been flat, but we've paid down our debt in the 6 years I've been there by 52% in this county. We've gone from well over $40 million of debt down to just over $22 million of debt. We have revenue. It's how we're allocating it. Until these things get done, yes, a flat revenue, we're up to $47 million budget, but there's always money left. And you said we're going to talk about education. The same thing goes with the education system. There's always money left. money that's been allocated to the school systems. They finished this year with, we don't even know yet, over $800 and some thousand dollars above the $500,000 that they use for their fund balance. So you always finish with more in your pot, and what we've always decided to do is take that money we've had left over top what our revenue and pay down that debt, so we can actually have that money to put into other projects and so forth. So I think we've ran a great budget. People talk about the federal government and how blown that budget is. We don't do what they do. We live within our means, and we live very well. We've got the 4th highest funded school system in the state of Maryland by county standards. County governments, we're the 4th highest. So maybe we need to, and we've talked about this, putting in legislation to challenge the state to bring more state revenue, because us along with like Garrett County, we're different than the rest of the state. Yes, all counties almost are losing population. We, just because of our size, have the most struggles going through the process. When I ran in 2009, I said the 301 corridor was a priority. And since then, we've changed the zoning on the 301 corridor. We've got the infrastructure with the new fiber build out. That we've got infrastructure to entertain bigger companies that need the technologies. That some of these people actually live here. And they work elsewhere. Bring those people home. I've already talked to people who are engineers, lawyers out of Philadelphia. They're actually living here now because they're able to get that high-speed 1 gig fiber. So the more of those people that come, again, their income's going to start moving here. So we get their income taxes. Again, I think the things that have been put in place, the 301 corridor is going to be the great apple. We keep that moving forward. Talk about the 600 homes on 301 that we're working with Millington and so forth. That 600 homes is approximately $3 million worth of revenue at its completion. That is a smart way to do it. Smart growth and move forward in a positive way without ripping everybody apart. Nobody out there, I'm going to say it like this. Nobody out there wants to pay more in property taxes. We're the 6th highest property tax in the state, 6th or 7th now. I think Cecil County just passed, we're the 2nd highest on the shore. We're $1.02 per 100. Where do you incentivize people to move here if they know they're coming to one of the highest taxed areas in the state of Maryland? How do you encourage that? So people who advocate, give, that's the only place it can come from, other than the revenue streams that are already in place to start bringing the 600 homes on 301 corridor, the new truck stop, the expansion of perhaps some data centers that, I know some of those offers are being entertained and conversations are happening with Kent Fiber. Things like that, which is clean. People want to live here. They enjoy being able to walk downtown Chestertown, know who they're seeing on the street, the same ones that don't want massive growth in the center of this county. They love what Kent County is. So we have a small piece of the county that we can utilize, which again, I think is the 301 corridor. We only have about 8% of the county that can be used for growth. The rest of it's 92% ag land, and that's gonna stay that way. Just because of malfeasements, land preservation. We just had 2 farms in Kent County that are DNR is taking over to add more, preserve area and so forth. That's where things start to cost. We've got great things here in Chestertown. We got Washington College. We've got Sultana Project. We've got a lot of nonprofits. And when a lot of these properties at the same time are brought and they start purchasing up properties, even Chestertown's struggling now because of those kind of reasons. Losing taxable property taxes that are taxable into their revenue streams. They're great things because they also bring people that support all the local business. So it's like it's a fine line to say what's right or wrong or how to move that part forward. We couldn't live without the college either. I set through probably one of the hardest budgets I've ever set through in the 6 years I've been there. A lot of anger, a lot of angst involved. I mean, I've always been a strong supporter of the school system, the education. We've always tried to do as much as we can outside of MOE. MOE, which is governed by the state of Maryland. we have continually to fund maintenance of effort. We've continually to fund well over a few $1 million over maintenance of effort because of losing kids. We've lost 176 kids just in those last 6 years. So if we've lost 176 kids in our school system, that's, it gets into the millions of dollars. We've kept that MOE flat and kept it going. We haven't taken that money away from the school system. So technically MOE would be around $15 million right now. We're still at 17.1. We have kept that. That's what makes us the 4th highest funded school system in the state of Maryland. We closed 2 schools. The Board of Education brought to the county commissioners to close 2 schools. We don't make those decisions. The Board of Education and the superintendent makes those decisions, and we honor their decisions on how to move forward. But losing 176 kids, we didn't lose all those because of not having children here anymore. We've lost a lot of kids that go to other schools, whether it's St. Mark's, Mac Exception, Benedictine, Kent School, Radcliffe School, Gunston. I mean, we're losing kids all over the place. And is that the county commissioner's fault that we're losing kids out of our school system? And I truly believe it's the superintendent and the Board of Education to figure out how to keep those kids in the school system. Those kids are leaving, your test scores are leaving. Right now, Park scores come back last week, or 2 weeks ago. We're at 21st in the state of Maryland. 4th highest funded, but 20th and 21st as far as education. Queen Anne's County, 22nd as far as funding as county government, but they're 5th in the state of Maryland with education. I don't have the answers as a commissioner how to make our schools better. That's not what I'm paid to do. I'm paid to give them what the state of Maryland says we can, and above whatever we can in our budget cycle. So we're down below 1,900 kids now in Kent County. Over the last 25 years, this has become a retirement-based community. And listen, if we didn't have those retirees here, we sure in the world wouldn't be able to fund our school system. What they bring here and the value they bring here is phenomenal.
Well,
I don't know. You've got such a small county here, and I truly believe the 3 commissioners that sit right now have done a great job moving Kent County in the right direction. Do we always agree? Absolutely not. Do we want to have a county executive and 5 city members on a board? You just create more bureaucracy. You just create higher dollars going out to pay more people. I don't see that as being, I represent all citizens of the county. Somebody from Rock Hall.
You can't even meet with your counterpart without being accused of a public meeting.
And I'll tell you, I think that's BS too. I think you should be able to have a conversation. How do you govern? How do you govern? Exactly. But that doesn't change, through that other process. Well, I've been in advocating. I've been part of the fight to save the hospital, and my perspective of saving the hospital is, let's make the hospital the best in which it can be. I'm not sure all those services. I mean, again, go back to kids. There's not that many kids being born in Kent County like there used to be. So I can understand not having that service in our hospital. But we got one of the best cancer departments on the shore, for female services and so forth. I mean, that's been developed over the last several years. You got one of the state-of-the-art emergency care services, and the positive feedback I get from people now that go there. They're in and out. They're not sitting there for hours anymore and dealing with issues like that. I don't know what the end goal is for the hospital. I know the world's changing. But I'm going to advocate, for the citizens of Kent County to keep whatever amount of that hospital we can here, because seniors do buy here because of having a hospital in the town. The college does support because we have a hospital in the town. I mean, rural transportation is probably the hardest thing any county can face. I mean, I know since I've been in county government, I learned a lot about transportation because we have, DCT. You have several different cab services now. Whether it's Key Lime cab, which is there to help those who need the help the most. So I think we're evolving. We've been in discussion also with like Queen Anne's County to do the maybe merge into some of their system. It's very difficult to think about. You know, I've heard some candidates say we just need to be good to our neighbors and take them. I mean, that's fine and good, but if your neighbor's not home, you can't take them. But we've offered through the DCT program, we'd tried a few years ago just for our kids to be able to get from Rock Hall, Millington, Chestertown to our community center. We set up a program for the whole summer to be able to get kids to the access point and come to community center so they could swim, they could do whatever they want to do in Wharton. It was an awful turnout. I mean, people just didn't use it. We put it through the school system. I mean, we advocated for these kids to jump on there, pay $1.25, sometimes pay nothing, whatever it was, and get to the community center, spend the day there. We tried these shuttle points and so forth, and it didn't work. You know, it just didn't work. And do we keep spending taxpayers' money for 3 riders a year or 4 riders a day? Or, you know, do you keep doing that? Spending good money on bad situations? I don't think so. We're working on it. We're trying to figure out a system, like I say, you know, whether it's with, same thing with like the school system, whether it's other counties, and that's basically what DCT is. We've merged with other counties to do that and make it better. We've got them to bring in small shuttles. So now it's not just the big buses. Now they do have the small shuttles. Getting people to understand the system, making the phone call, which is, again, PR. You know, whether it's DCT's PR, whether it's our county website PR, whether it's just people paying attention. My tenure so far speaks for itself. I mean, I think some great legislation's happened, whether it's, you know, dealing with alcohol bills, whether it's dealing with, you know, tourism, arts and entertainment, whether it's bringing legislative forward for the commerce zone and the enterprise zone to make it better for businesses to come here and want to be here, because no tax base is no tax base, but 50% of the tax base gets you 100% in 10 years. So, you know, Walmart property set blank for all the years of getting ag tax on it. You know, now look, it's a very vibrant $80-some million project. Those things, you know, the fiber project, I don't think people quite understand how big that fiber project is. You know, getting it out. We've just got approval from the FCC for a certain megahertz distribution, which is going to help kids in school even more, because all our anchor institutions will be able to put that out there, which is very rare to be able to get that kind of approval around. County government has that now, so we can hit every single laptop within you know, a year to 2 years. Every single laptop, every single device in the entire county, the whole spectrum. We're 8 miles wide by, you know, length, and we have 67 anchor institutions. So we're going to make all those things better. So I think pushing forward to make education better is a goal of mine. It has been a goal of mine. Funding outside of MOE, ever since I've been there, the millions of dollars that we've spent outside of MOE to help new football field, whatever we can do, you know, we've done, and to move Kent County forward. And I think that is who I am. I think when a citizen calls me, I answer the phone, and whatever it is, I help address it to the best Kent County can address it. So I've always said I'm a commissioner for the people. I really believe that's what I've done for 6 years. You know, you don't make everybody happy all the time, but if you keep most of them happy at least 50% of the time, next week the other 50% is going to be happy because of a different situation. You know, it's turbines, you know, solar arrays, hospital, Bay Bridge. I mean, there's, you know, there's always people. And in a little county like Kent County, I never thought that you could have, we have some bigger issues than some of the bigger counties could ever think about. Montgomery County's never going to have to face 500-foot wind turbines going through their county, you know. But we had to do a lot of work legislatively and everything to keep those type of corporations out of here, you know, because we are Kent County. We are the beautiful Kent County. We're what all these retirees and folks want to come here and live with. What we have.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.